convenient of my account. Thank you. Should be the contracts and documents. Yes. This is already in evidence, John.
Right.
This person. Perfect. Thank you. If you could just pull up the, Mr. Copeland, you were shown this yesterday. This should be State's Exhibit number 22, CC as in Colette. And the state asked you about the vehicle, which should be on the left of your screen. And they identified it as a white Nitro, I believe. You remember this from yesterday by any chance?
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah.
Now, I just want to make sure the jurors know, and if you could. This is not the Texaco gas station that you were showing pictures of with the Infiniti and the Pontiac and the gentleman walking into the convenience store. This is a totally different gas station. Do you recognize that?
I don't know what he said.
I just want to make sure that there was clarity. Do you know where this gas station is by any chance, just from looking around? Just from looking at 22CC?
You said, do I know the area?
Yeah, do you recognize that at all?
Yeah, I know the area.
Okay. Is that in the same area, vicinity as the Texaco gas station that's next to the barbershop where Mr. Diamond Thomas was killed?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure the jurors weren't confused, or that we didn't confuse the jurors. Okay, thank you. Now, the state also showed you yesterday a photograph. It's 10cc, as in Colette. I'd like to show that again, and it is in evidence already, Your Honor. And if you could blow it up, if you don't mind. Do you remember seeing this yesterday by any chance, Mr. Copeland? Remember being shown?
I don't see nothing.
Oh, it's not on your screen? It might be, it's behind you.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay. And the gentleman in the white shirt, kind of in the center but left of the screen, do you know that person?
No, I don't know that person.
Okay.
Try with the white shirt or the black shirt. I don't know neither one of those.
Okay. That doesn't, being shown that yesterday by the district attorney?
Let me be clear.
Yes, sir.
I see him around, but I don't know him.
Okay, thank you. But that doesn't verify any of your statements to the police, does it?
Huh?
Objection, improper question.
I'm not sure he can answer that question.
Do you believe that by seeing that picture of that person, whoever it is, the person you see around sometimes, did that in any way verify what you told the police?
I mean, that's basically just, you put a do you believe in front of it, but it's, I mean, what he believes about it isn't relevant.
Did the police ever do anything to show you, or the district attorney, to corroborate your statement to the police? I understand what you're saying, that it was made up, but did they ever do anything to say, to try to tie it to that person? Did the police ever do that to you? Or the district attorney's office?
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't hear nothing about him.
Okay. All right, I want to talk with you about your statements to the police. That, Jeffrey, that you were with Jeffrey when you were getting calls from the police, okay? There was some discussion like that, and it's, Your Honor, is JW, Jeffrey Williams, 240T, as in terrific, States Exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron. It's again June 10, 2015. This is at 9:50:35 a.m. to 9:51:48 a.m. I'm sorry. Of course. 9:50:35 a.m. 9:51:48 a.m. And if you hear this, Mr. Copeland, if I'm, just make sure that after you listen to it, I'm correct. You said, I'm like, don't worry about it, and, but anyway, long story short, the detective was calling my phone. You know what I mean? And he was right there. Detective said, Thug was right there. You said, yeah. You said, so I answered the phone and he looking at me like this, but I don't know what's going on. Detective says, why is he looking at you like that? You said, because he see me answering the phone for them. Detective said, but at what point does Thug have anything to say, nuts murder, to be looking at you in any kind of way, like, don't worry about that, like this and that. And you said, I'm fixing to give it to you. Detective said, please, we've been waiting for months. You said, no, I ain't. Guess what? I heard he was trying to kill me, but I ain't. This is what happened. I answered the phone. Hello? Yeah, this. I knew it was the detective calling. Detective said, the one that's handling the murder case? You said, no, different detective. Detective said, okay. You said, I thought one of them was you. My sister said that. She described, you know what I mean? But she was just like a man. Detective said, right. So you said, so I just thought she was talking about you. Detective said, okay. You said, so she was like, detective's call. All right. So I answered the phone and he's right there. So I was like, yeah, indiscernible. So I don't know what that means. I couldn't understand it. This and that, man, they just talking to me. And he was just looking at me, but I ain't think, because I ain't did nothing. So I'm like, SHI blank. I'd like you to just listen to this if you don't mind and tell me if this is what you're saying, and I'd like to ask you some questions.
Okay, don't worry about it, nigga. But anyway, long story short, the detective was calling my phone. Now, and he was right there. So, yeah. So I answered the phone. And he looked at me like this. So, well, I don't know what's going on. Why he looking at you like that? Because he seen me answer the phone for him. But at what point does Thug have anything to say about nuts murdering me? Looking at it any kind of way, like, don't worry about that. Please, we can wait months. No, they ain't get with it. I heard you touch him, but I ain't. This way, I answered the phone. Hello? Yeah, I knew it was the detective call. The one that handled the murder case, I was different detectives. I was on too. My sister said that she described, but she was just like a man, but I thought she was my too. So she was like, just kind of high. So I answered the phone, and he read it. So I'm like, yeah, this is gonna go up and whatever, this and that. And they just talking to him. And he just sitting there, but I ain't saying this cook, I ain't getting it. So I'm like, shit, man, it's over there.
Mr. Cooper, what I said, was that substantially right, according to what you just heard?
That what it sound like?
Did the police ever come to you, or the district attorney's office ever come to you and discuss with you whether or not anything about you around Jeffrey when police are calling and his impression of it or reaction to it? They ever do anything to verify that, to your knowledge?
No.
It's made up, right?
But they said that in their own mouth. You heard them in the investigation. You ain't giving us nothing. You bushing us. I mean, like they knew what I was doing. My stomach hurt bad, Judge. I feel like I got cramps.
Can I ask you a question? This is JW 241E as in Aaron, states exhibit number 378YA as in Elisa. This is January 11th, 2015. This is 4:13:31 a.m. to 4:13:59 a.m. And specifically, this is you telling Detective Thorpe that that you wanted to retaliate after the shooting of Donovan Thomas. People were shooting your family's homes. You want to retaliate, and Jeffrey telling you, don't do that, let 12 handle. Okay, just listen, okay?
It's like, she started out it. I had went down to her house and like she was going on. Like when he for the can't start this time up. For real. Yeah, like what I supposed to do, bro? Like man, this started with split 12 on it, 12 deal with it, just how you get saying. Like man, bro, you come out of the police out there and deal with that, bro. He supposed to kill him. You know, man, for that. He knows him better than that. I mean, for I
Were you able to hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I heard.
And is it fair to say that you told Detective Thorpe about 7-8 hours after the shooting of Donovan Thomas that Jeffrey's reaction to all this is let 12 handle?
Say it again.
Okay. Jeffrey's reaction when you were saying that people are shooting at your family's homes, God forbid, Jeffrey told you let 12 handle. That's what you told the police, right?
Now I tell the police anything to try to get them out my face.
And tell the jurors, if you don't mind, who is 12?
Who?
Who is 12?
Who is 12?
Yeah.
Shit, they know the police.
I want to talk with you about your statements to law enforcement. This is JW 240U as in unbelievable. States exhibit number 378YE as in Aaron. This is 10:58:11 a.m. to 10:58:46 a.m. This is again June 10th, 2015. And Mr. Copeland, just to orient you, this is where you're talking to the police about Jeffrey supposedly wanting to have you killed, okay?
Have who killed?
Remember that?
Have who killed?
You.
Me?
Yeah, that's what you told the police. I'm going to read it, and then you tell me. Well, I'm going to say what I think it said, but you correct us. You said, it ain't none of that. It ain't. This is what only thing he just, when the police called, bro, he seen me talking to them, and he just feel as I ain't supposed to say nothing. You know what I mean? He just want me to just let y'all put one on me for murder. You know what I mean? That's what he want. Detective said, and Sam called and not saying nothing. And you said, that's what he wanted. That's what I feel like deep inside my heart. Like I ain't even told my brother. I ain't tell nobody that this end is trying to have me killed. I ain't tell my baby mama, you know what I mean? Detective said, right. You said, it was a feeling like when Nut first died and everybody was coming, screaming my name, seeing how nervous and scared I was. If you could listen to it, if you don't mind.
It ain't none of it. It ain't this way. All that he did, when police called up, he seen me talking to him. And he just feel and then I ain't supposed to say that. I mean, he just want me to just they try to put one of me for murder. I mean, that's what he wants, and saying all or not. That's what he wants. I feel like deep inside my heart, like I need to tell my brother, I ain't telling nobody my son this anytime, but I ain't telling my brother. I mean,
And then I'd like to play for you Jeffrey Williams 240W as in wonderful. It states exhibit number 378YE as in Aaron. It's at 10:58:50 a.m. to 10:59:09 a.m. So it's right after where we stopped. So it's really a continuation. And I'd like you to listen to this and focus on your statement that, you know what I mean? It was, I got scared to be around him, be told, the truth be told, I got scared. I told my baby mama, like, you can call her now, man, we gotta go, man. I think that end thug, like, that night they shot at us. When I was telling you all that story, in my heart, I was like, darned, it says another word, that end thug trying to get me killed, you know what I mean?
That's word. I mean, I got scared, you know what? He told, I got scared. I told him, are you confident? Man, we gotta go, man. I didn't even like when they had shot at it. When I'm telling you how the story with it, in my heart, I just like, man, oh, trying to get killed. You know what I mean?
Did you hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I heard it.
So in those two back-to-back recordings that we heard, the JW240U and the JW240W, on the first one, you said to the police that you ain't tell nobody that this end's trying to have me killed. I ain't tell my baby mama. And then in the second one, the JW240W, you said, truth be told, I got scared. I told my baby mama. Did the police ever ask you about that and push back and say, how do you say that?
How do you say what?
Yeah, that you didn't tell your child's mother, and you did tell your child's mother. Did they ever do anything like that?
I think they just try to make me feel comfortable. Like, they talk to me to try to make me feel comfortable to open up to them. So that's what I was thinking. I don't know. I'm not telling people anything. I didn't care about getting caught in the lie. So I was trying to be as convincing as possible.
I'd like to go into JW240V, as in victory. It states exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron. It's June 10, 2015. Mr. Copeland's 10:20:39 a.m. to 10:21 even, or 10:21:00 a.m. And this, I'd like you to focus on what you talked about with Valerie told you that Jeffrey wanted to set you up. And you said that, yeah, but see, Valerie got in the car. She was like, hey, bro, I'm going to tell you something. Don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what's up? She like, thug, this and that and that. And I'm like, detective said, no. And then you said, now I'm like, what you mean? And she like, don't trust this end, bruh. You know what I mean? He trying to set you up, talking about every time I go out, I got out of jail, something got shot up. Detective says, Can you listen to that for me?
All right.
Thank you.
But see, Valerie got in touch, she'd be like, hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you something, don't say that. So I mean, I'm like, wait till she's like, dog, and this and that. I'm like, no, it's nah, what you mean? She's like, I didn't know trust this nigga, bro. I mean, they really trying to set you up. So like, every time I got in jail, someone got shot up.
So you're saying every time you got in jail, something got shot up. That's what you're telling the police, right?
That's what I told the police?
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
And that Valerie told you, don't trust Jeffrey. Remember that?
That's what I said.
Yeah. And did the police ever come to you, or did you get any information from Valerie or someone else at the police or the prosecution ever tried to verify that that conversation occurred with Valerie?
After this interview right here, I went to the feds probably like 2-3 weeks later. I haven't heard anything about this interview all the way up until they brought me in this trial. I haven't heard anything about no investigation all the way up to this trial.
Okay. To your knowledge, did the police or the prosecution ever just simply go to Valerie and say, did this happen?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I'd like to show you what the prosecution showed you yesterday. It states exhibit number 60W, as in wonderful, A as in Elisa. It's timestamp 208. Ms. Knight, do you mind helping me? Thank you. Do you remember seeing this yesterday, Mr. Copeland? This photograph that Ms. Hilton showed you?
Yeah.
And she said, and you verified that that's Valerie, remember that?
I think it's up.
How does, if in your, from your understanding, how does showing you states exhibit number 60WA verify that Valerie had a conversation with you in a car that you don't trust Jeffrey?
Objection, Your Honor, improper question, speculation.
Am I asking you to
Vague.
speculate?
Vague.
Okay. Can you tell us, tell the jury, how showing you states exhibit 60WA verified anything that you said to the police on June 10th,
Objection.
2015?
Objection vague, and it's the same question.
Sustained.
Besides that being a photograph or an image of a video, what does that picture mean to you that you were shown yesterday?
That she was dirty as hell back in the day.
Thank you, sir. All right, I'd like to go into JW24X as an X-ray that states exhibit number 378YE as an errand, June 10, 2015, from 4:13:34 p.m. to 4:14:46 p.m. Specifically, Detective Dennis asked you, what does Birdman have to do with all of this? And you answered, Birdman's quiet. Detective Dennis said, he don't tell him to calm down. You said, Birdman, he don't talk in front of us. Detective Dennis said, he don't. You all like that? And you said, but he like, yeah, he right there. He talked to me a lot, but it don't be about nothing. Detective Dennis said, small talk. You said, yeah. What the H this N talking about? Detective Dennis then I can't understand what you're saying. Then you say, it sound like it. Detective Dennis said, you think so? You said, I don't think he did it. I don't know. Detective Dennis said, so with all this stuff with Nut, what was his reaction to it? Meaning Birdman. You said, from me to you, he was trying to pay them to keep quiet. Detective Dennis asked you, pay who to keep quiet? You said them. Detective Dennis said, who is them? You said, Nuts folks. Detective Dennis said, oh, just go about their business? You said, yep. Detective Dennis, here, take this, shut the HELL up, leave it alone. You said, I think it was 200,000. Detective Dennis said, a payoff. You said, I heard that right my own ears. Detective Dennis said, who he's supposedly paying to? And you said, Fly. Detective Dennis said, who's Fly? You said, the man who owned the TIG. It's kind of a way y'all can just man, if you don't mind listening to this.
What does Birdman have to do with it?
Birdman, quiet.
You don't tell him to calm down?
Yeah, Birdman, nah, he don't talk first.
He don't know y'all like that.
He won't be back up. He can talk to me a lot, but it don't be about that. It's just,
Small talk.
yeah, what the hell nigga talking about?
Do we get it?
Sound like,
You think so?
I don't think he. I don't know.
So with all the stuff with that, what was his reaction to?
For me, I'm trying to pay them to keep quiet.
Pay who to keep quiet?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Hey, folks.
Oh, let's go about that business.
Yeah.
Here, take it, shut it up, leave it alone.
I owe 200,000.
Take it out.
I heard it about my own ears.
Who is supposed to pay it to?
Flat.
Who's what?
already elected, TIG.
Go for what I said, was that fairly accurate? To what you told the Detective Dennis?
I tell the police everything.
Sure. Did the police ever come to you, the district attorney's office, and ever discuss with you anything to, let's corroborate this?
All the way up to this point, even today, they never sat down and asked me nothing about nothing I said in the interviews.
I'm the first one to do this.
Yeah, you the only one that did this to me.
Did you bring up Birdman, or did Detective Dennis bring up Birdman?
I think he did.
And then you just started talking about it,
That's what I'm gonna do.
like you've been telling the jurors.
He bring up your name. I'm gonna have something for you.
I want to talk with you about Jeffrey Williams 240Y, as in yesterday, State's Exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron. It's June 10, 2015 again. Interrogation, it's from 10:23 a.m. to 10:51 a.m. And Mr. Copeland, if you can listen to this and tell us if this is you talking about Jeffrey was going to buy the gun that was found at the Dunbar Recreational Center for $1,000, if this is what you're talking about with the police, okay?
So when I got done, I got from Rico. So I went up to the park to go play baseball, but I waited on them to come get it. So wait a minute, Latina. So his brother pulled up. I mean, really, yeah, you talking about the big guy over there? The big clean. Okay. His brother pulled up, get it. I mean, they like, throw up, give me a time for it. I mean, so I was still looking at the gun, but I don't need it.
It's gonna be my same question. Anything besides what you told the police to verify that Jeffrey was going to buy a gun for $1,000 at the Dunbar Recreational Center?
They didn't even believe me.
Miss Hilton asked you yesterday, towards the end of your testimony with her, she said, but all you was talking about were people, the only people committed crimes with Jeffrey, and other people maybe here, like Little D and Nard, etc. Do you remember that type of question that she asked?
I don't even understand what you're saying.
Okay. Do you remember telling the police that Rich Homie Quan took out, put $25,000 to kill Tay? Remember telling him that?
See, I told the police that. Told you, I wanted them to believe I knew information, and they can rely on me. That's my whole motive when they were questioning me. If they go for it and they let me walk away, you gotta catch me on the back end.
Do you remember telling the police that Rich Homie Quan would buy guns for YFM Lucy and his people and store them?
I can't tell the police nothing that's going on in some with people that I'm not around. So it's self-explanatory that I made it up.
Did the police ever come to you or the prosecution, meaning the district attorney's office, and say, hey, we want to go over what you said to see if we could verify it?
No, I haven't heard anything until this trial. Only person come talk to me is Ms. Hills, but I can't. Like, she asked me, have I heard some calls? She let me hear the calls. Like, I don't recall her asking me specific questions.
Okay. I'd like to play for you Jeffrey Williams 244A, as in Lisa, to January 28th, 2015. Interview at 7:23:53 through 7:24:16, and it's on those. It's on the issue about Rich Homie Quan putting $25,000 to kill Tay. Okay.
All right.
Rich Homie Quan spoke to him, 50,000, they need a new plug. Like Rich on Corn told me this like mom. Yeah. And Rich on Corn like you got 25,000 here, paid killed. It's like from the picture you just showed me. Nah, tell you we just got shot last night. Oh, in the car. Yeah. Okay. He had 25,000 here, paid killed.
Who did?
Then Rich on Corn shit. Cause he was telling me. So I'm telling Rich on Corn like.
And then Jeffrey Williams, 244B. It's about Rich Homie buying guns and storing them for YFN Lucy and his people. This is January 28, 2015. It's 9:07:17 p.m. to 9:07:26 p.m.
Now that Rich Homie buying the guns for this.
And Mr. Copeland, this is just the same thing you've been saying the whole time, right? You're just going to talk about me. If the police bring me up or want to know, you're just going to be a fountain of information, so they let you go.
Man, this is crazy, man. Like, throughout my whole life with interacting with the police, they never believed nothing I said. I don't have a clue why they even got me in here. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I'd like to talk with you about Jeffrey Williams, number 240Z, as in zebra, States Exhibit number 378YE, as in Aaron, June 10, 2015. It's 1:16:56 p.m. to 1:17:36 p.m. You said, you know what I mean? This N, you know what he did to me? He gave me $300,000 to hold, and he left and came back. Detective Dennis said, and you ain't get none of that? And you said, I don't care about money. I don't. Detective Gaither said, you care about some money. And Detective Dennis said, you kind of dissing yourself, man. And you said, listen, the N would give me money.
what is N?
N-I-G-G.
Oh, nigga.
You feel what I'm saying? I didn't need nothing. I didn't. Detective Gaither said, how much? You said, but when I went to jail, he didn't help me. Detective Gaither said, you just said the most amount of money Thug Dunn gave you. Detective Dennis said $300,000. And you said, but he left with you 300. This is Detective Dennis, and I guess came back and gave you 1,000 and you were good. I just want you to hear that and make sure that's what he said.
No, he didn't. Yeah, $300,000. The whole. He lived. Came back.
And you know that.
I don't care about money. I don't. You care about money.
You be contradicting yourself, man.
The nigga was giving me money. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need it. I did it. But when I went to jail and he didn't help me, you just said the most amount of money girl gave me.
But he left you with 300, and I guess came back and gave you 1,000, and you was good.
You hear that, Mr. Copeland?
Mm-hmm.
And the police are telling you, you're not making any sense, right? It's saying that to you, right?
Right.
They know, you believe, they know this is all just try to give them something they need to let you go. Right?
Objection, speculation.
That's what you're doing. Don't speculate about anyone else. That's what you're doing, right?
They know that. Dennis know it, Gaither know it.
And there's no picture of you with $300,000. You're not saying that's true. You just said that to the police, right?
If I had $300,000, you know, it would have been pictures, videos, and everything. The whole world would have seen it.
Okay. I'd like to go through with you Jeffrey Williams, or JW 241F as in Fox, States Exhibit number 378YA as in Elisa. This is January 11, 2015. So this is, 7-8 hours after Mr. Thomas was, God forbid, shot. It's 3:14:24 a.m. to 3:14:29 a.m. And I want you to hear and listen for whether you said this. I never had a problem with Nut. Me and Nut ain't never had two words with each other. Me and Nut was always okay. You know what I'm saying? The only person I ever had a problem with was Cal. Just tell me if that's what is being said.
I never had a problem with that. Me and Nut ain't never had two words to each other. Me and Nut was always okay. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Mr. Copeland, what I said, that was fairly accurate.
What you say?
What I said when I asked you to listen for it, that was accurate. That was
We heard it.
okay. And actually, a little time before January 6, 2015, I'm using that date for when you got into that fight at Club Crucial. You know what I'm talking about? When Shell Cal and other people jumped on you with your eye. You know what I'm talking about?
You know I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So before that day, before January 6, 2015, you stole from Mr. Donovan Thomas's Tahoe vehicle, his cellular telephone, his identification, his chain, his nut chain, and his wallet. Is that true?
I gave it back to him.
Okay. I'm gonna get there, I promise you. And what happened was Mr. Donovan Thomas called his own cell phone and you answered it and made arrangements to give him back his property. Fair to say?
Sound like that.
And when he came to get his property, he came with other people in other cars, right?
Sound like that.
And they had guns.
Objection, assuming facts not evidence.
Well, he's asking the question of whether, Mr. Copeland knows, so I'll overrule him.
What going on?
Did they have guns that you saw?
Yeah.
And shortly after that, you learned that Donovan Thomas and others were going to hurt you. True?
Objection, improper character of the victim.
Sustained.
You knew that Donovan Thomas and others made statements that you heard that they were going to hurt you.
Objection, Your Honor, assuming facts not evidence and improper character evidence.
Sustained.
Did you ever listen to Donovan Thomas have a meeting with others where they discussed you?
Yeah, I was told.
And you were actually listening, and there was a person named Maurice or Mo who was in prison on the call as well, right?
I don't know. I don't know who somebody came back and told me.
Okay. And you understood that Donovan Thomas and others were going to hurt you. Is that true?
Objection, assuming facts not into evidence.
Sustained.
Did you believe, come around January 10th, 2015, that Donovan Thomas and others were going to hurt you? Did you believe that?
Same objection and relevance of what his beliefs were.
I think it goes to a state of mind on the day that Mr. Thomas was killed.
Overrule.
What you asked?
Did you believe that on the date that Donovan Thomas was killed, that he and others, his friends, were going to, had a plan to hurt you physically?
I was told it.
So when you told the police on January 11, 2015, that you and Nut never had any words, never had a problem. Your only problem was with Kel. You just didn't want to tell the police about that, right?
Say that again?
You did not share with the police what you believed to be a problem that Donovan Thomas was and his friends were trying to hurt you. You didn't share that with Detective Thorpe, did you?
I don't know.
You told Detective Thorpe that you never had a problem with Mr. Thomas, right? We just heard that.
That's what I told him.
I want to go into what you have been told by law enforcement. I'm going to do it all from January 10th of 2015. I want you to listen to these. I want you to listen. This is JW 240AA, Elisa, States Exhibit number 378YE. It's June 10, 2015. It's 1:15 p.m. to 1:51 p.m. and tell the jury if this is accurate. You said, it is though. I sat right here. You know what I mean? I promised I wouldn't back out for nothing. You know what I mean? Detective says, I'm gonna find out. You said, like I said, man, if that was to keep me out of jail and y'all can help me, I promise you, one Birdman, Kente, any of them, I will go right there and do what I have to do, right? I am good with anybody. You know, even though all this SHI blank going on, you know, and detective says, you mean, right? And you said, I put it on my mama's soul. I mean it. I want you to listen to this, okay?
I promise I'm gonna back out, okay? I mean, I'm trying to. Like I said, man, if they was to keep me out of jail and y'all help me, man, I promise you, you gonna throw up bird, man. I can't take down one of them. I will go right there and do what I have to do, right? I'm good with anybody. Like, even all this shit going on, I didn't live till 15, 1:16 p.m. You make that right? Put on my own soul out there.
Now, did you hear Detective Gaither say, June 10, 2015, 1:16 p.m.? You mean that right? And you said, I put on my mama's soul. She's saying what you said, that you're gonna help them. You'll do anything to get out of jail, right?
Right.
Okay. I wanna go back in time, same day, but this is gonna be 9:45 a.m. So about 4 hours before, 3 hours before. This is JW 240B as in Barry, B as in Barry, States Exhibit number 378YE as in Aaron. This is 9:45, 19 a.m. to 9:48, 39 a.m. And it's Detective Cunningham, not detective, Special Agent with the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosive, Cunningham. She's a female, and she says, and I want you to make sure that it's accurate. She says, okay, I need you to listen. You know you're a felon. You know that you got a gun today, so you can't even dispute that. I don't even want you to try because you're just gonna be wasting my time and yours too. And let me finish. You said no, and there's an overlapping conversation, meaning multiple people speaking. The ATF agent Cunningham says, me and investigator Gaither, but the gun today, the one we found today in the apartment, meaning when you were arrested from your apartment on June 10, 2015. You said, ATF agent Cunningham said, now, when it comes to the federal system, it's not when you go, do your time, there's no parole. There is no what it is. And then Detective Gaither says, early release. And then Agent Cunningham says, no early release. you may get good behavior, but that's only like, you get nothing. And they typically don't let you stay in Atlanta. They might ship you off somewhere clear across the country. So whatever you do, and then you say, Dawn, but you said a different word, my head hurt. Agent Cunningham said, I'll go back and tell the United States attorney that's assigned to this case, this is what he did to help himself out. It pans out. Or I can go back and tell her, this is what he said. We found out it was a lie. He's continuing to play games. The judge do what they want to do. So before we can even get started, especially while I'm sitting here, everything is on you because I've never talked to you before. So with me, you almost get a clean slate to help yourself. If you do lies, I don't, because I got too much other stuff to do. I would hate to have to go back and tell the U.S. attorney, but he's lying, he's full of crap. It's up to you. You said, before I lie, then there's a lot of people talking. Agent Cunningham said, it's up to you, Mr. Copeland. You said, before I lie, Agent Cunningham said, let me finish. I think it's a 3 or 4 time convicted felon you are. How many felonies do you have? Detective Gaither said, about 3, don't you? Agent Cunningham said, you got 3. Detective Gaither said, about 3 or 4. You said, talking about what? Agent Cunningham said, how many felonies do you have? You said, what am I on probation for? Agent Cunningham said, how many convictions are felonies? Detective Gaither said, it's around 3. You said, I don't know. Agent Cunningham said, let's just assume it's 3, okay? I'm fixing to tell you right now, you have heard of the armed career criminal. You said, you're not going to worry about me lying. Agent Cunningham said, you have heard of armed career criminal with 3 while you're sitting here now, and how old are you? You said 23. Agent Cunningham said 23. You got 15 years off the top. And that's before you even get into the time for whatever your charge is. And possession by a convicted felon is 5 years twice. That's 10. So we're talking about 15 plus 10 on top of that. You're looking at what, 48 years old? That's what you're looking at. This is serious. You said, I told you it's getting Detective Gaither said, I told you it's getting real. Detective Gaither said, nobody has time for the bull crap. You said, I told you it's getting real. I knew it. I tried. Agent Cunningham said, that's not including whatever conspiracies you're involved in. Mr. Copeland, if I really wanted to be a bad ASS and treat you bad, I'd probably throw the book at you and wouldn't think twice about it. You got a baby girl, a beautiful baby girl. I want you to listen to it. And this is all at the early in the morning, 9:45 a.m., okay?
All right, I need you to listen. You know you're a felon. You know you got that gun today. So you can't even dispute that. So I don't even want you to try to say you're just gonna be wasting my time and yours too. Let me finish. With the gun today, the one we found today in the apartment. Now, when it comes to the federal system, it's not no, you go to your time, there's no parole. There is no, what is it? I mean, I can't say no early release. You may get good behavior, but that's only like, you get nothing. And they typically don't let you stay in Atlanta. They might ship you off somewhere across the country. So, whatever you do, I go back and tell the U.S. attorney that the back of your case, this is what he did to help himself out. It pans out. Or I can go back and tell her, this is what he said. We found out it was lies. He continued to play games. The judge do what they want to do. So, what I'm trying to tell you before we even get started, especially while I'm sitting here, everything is on you because I've never talked to you before. So with me, you all get a clean slate to help yourself. I don't do lies. I just don't because I got too much other stuff to do. And I would hate to have to go back and tell any U.S. attorney, You know, but he just lying and he full of crap. It's up to you, Mr. Copeland. You are I think, is it a 3 or 4 times convicted though? How many felonies do you have?
About 3.
Yeah, 3?
About 3 or 4. Right.
How many felonies? How many convictions that are felonies do you have? Is it 3 or 4?
It's around there, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, let's just assume it's 3, okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, with 3, have you ever heard of armed career criminal?
Not a real anybody.
Have you ever heard of armed career criminal? With 3, where you sit at now, and you have 23, you get 15 years off the top. Off the top. That's before we even get into the time for whatever your charge is, and so that's about $50, 5 years, twice as 10. So we have about 15 plus 10 on top of that. You look at, what, 48 years old? That's what you're looking at. This is serious.
I told you.
Nobody has time for the bull crap.
I told you it's getting real. Did I not? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
That's not included whatever conspiracies you involved in. Mr. Copeland, if I really wanted to be a badass and treat you bad, I would probably don't look at you and you wouldn't think twice about it. You got a baby girl, beautiful baby girl.
Copeland, what I said, was that fair, what they were telling you? They being the federal agent Cunningham and Detective Gaither, Detective Gaither?
What happened?
Is that pretty much what they're telling you? 48 years of age, you got federal charges, 25 years off the top?
Yeah, she was lying too.
But that's what you believed at the time, right?
Yes.
And that motivated you to tell the police anything they wanted to hear, to get you home, right?
I was always gonna do that, but it's just like, it scared me more.
I want to go into Jeffrey Williams 240, JW 240CC as Colette. It states exhibit number 378. Y, E is in Aaron. It's again June 10th. Same interview, 2015. This is a little later. This is 12:08, 22 to 12:10, 50. And on this one, you said, man, so what can I do? I don't know why. I'll do whatever, man. I'll wear a camera. Detective says, listen to me. I'll do whatever, man. I'm glad you mentioned that, said Detective Gaither. I'll do whatever, man. I promise to God, man. Detective said, I'm glad you mentioned that because last Thursday, Miss Kim Dammers is a United States attorney, like the head person for the federal prison system. And I basically broke down to her everything we had so far in your case, all of them, shootings, all of this, all right? She said, you guys have great cases, but we need somebody with direct knowledge that can take down the main culprits. To us, I don't think you're a main target because you are the target for them. What we want, the top guys that's calling the shots. I know you heard the term, we want the big fish. And sometimes to get the big fish, you got to dangle small fish in front of them for them to come, for the fish to come. So is that something you want to do? Because our case is sealed with you. Like it's not, of course, we would like to, solve some of these retaliatory shootings and all that stuff. But as far as your fate at this point, Detective Dennis said, you're done. Detective Gaither said, you're cooked. The only thing that may possibly help you is helping yourself by speaking what you know. You said, I just. Then Detective Gaither said, right. And then, but that's Shannon. And Detective Dennis said, he's on the same level as you. Detective Gaither said, basically, I don't consider Shannon a big fish. Detective Dennis said, he's a small fish. You said, I know what y'all want to throw. Detective Gaither said, like he's a gopher, you understand? And that's why he's less, in my opinion, he's less than you, with your status, in my opinion. And you said, so what do I need to do? And Detective Gaither said, I want to know what the F-U-C blank thug doing. I want to know what, I want to know,
FUC?
I want to know what the F thug doing.
Oh,
I want to know what the F, goddamn, excuse my language, where is his money from? If they got to get Birdman, we want to talk about the darn, or it says, damn, Wayne Bus. I want to play that for you. Tell me if this is what you were told.
So what can I do to make strange up? I don't know why I do a little, man. I do a little, man. I'm glad you mentioned it. I do a little, man. I'm glad you mentioned it. Because last Thursday, Ms. Kim Danvers, U.S. Attorney, like the head person for the federal services. And I basically broke down to her everything that we had as far as your case, all the retaliatory shootings, all this, all that, right? She said you guys have great cases, but we need somebody with direct knowledge that can take down the main culprits. To us, I don't want to say you're not a main target because you are the target for them, but we want top guys that's call the shots. I know you've heard the term, we want the big fish. And sometimes to get this big fish, you gotta date the small fish in front of them to come, for the fish to come. So, is that something that you want to do? Because our case is still with you. Like it's not, you know. Of course, we would like to, you know, solve some of these retaliatory shootings and all that stuff. But as far as your case, at this point, you could. And the only thing that may possibly help you is you helping yourself by speaking what you know. Right. But you know what? That's not sharing.
He on the same level as you.
I don't consider sharing a big fish. Like you said, he's a goat. You understand? And that's the way he's less, in my opinion, he's less than what your status is. I want to know what the fuck Thug doing. I want to know what the fuck goddamn where his money is from. If they gotta get to Birdman, you want to talk about damn Wayne Bus.
Fair in what I said, Mr. Copeland?
this what it sound like.
You knew before going in that law enforcement, they made it clear to you, this happens to be recorded, but they made it clear to you that they wanted Jeffrey Williams, you to give information on Jeffrey Williams, right?
Yeah.
And the only way that you were going to avoid, in your opinion, what you were told, pretty much the rest of your life in prison. Is that how you understood it? Was to give information on Jeffrey Williams and others. True?
Really, just him.
And it was a lie, wasn't it?
What you mean?
Jeffrey Williams didn't do these things that you're telling the police.
But I told y'all that.
All right, let's take a break. All right, I've asked Ms. Burstfield to check on how the juror is doing as well, so I'll let y'all know what we hear back. Anything before we take our recess?
I will get you those cases.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
They're taking a break. They'll be back shortly. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Miss Bass.
would really appreciate us wrapping up early today. So if we can go maybe about 45 more minutes or so, and then at least let them go for the day after that. All right. And if they're ready, which I think they are, let's get Mr. Copeland and get them back and try to make some more progress.
You all right?
Like a little early, all right. Go ahead, Mr. Steele.
Mr. Copeland, I would like to discuss with you Jeffrey Williams, JW 240DD, David States Exhibit number 378, YE as in Aaron, it's 11:52:04 a.m. to 11:52:28 a.m. And what it specifically, I believe, says, and then you tell us if I'm wrong or correct, that you said, because right now, I just need help. If y'all can promise y'all could help me, I promise. And then there's some break, I don't understand what's being said. And then you say, I'll sit here, tell y'all everything I done heard and everything I done saw and everything I can tell y'all, stuff that y'all can go get. You know what I mean? Like, and then Detective Dennis said, are you willing to do that though? And you said, I promise, I'll do it right now. I can show y'all houses. Y'all can go bust your head right at the spot. I don't care, man. I just want y'all to protect. Detective Dennis says, what do you want out of it? You said, me, my baby girl. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Me and my baby and my girl. Can you listen to it for us?
Right now, you know, the kind of problem y'all give me, I promise you, bro. I don't sit right here and tell y'all everything I don't heard, everything I don't saw, and everything. I can tell y'all stuff that y'all go get. Same thing. Right here, bro. I promise I do it right now to show y'all how I can tell you what everybody's like. I don't care. I just want y'all to
What do you want
out
out of
here.
Mr. Copeland, what I said, was that fairly accurate of what you just heard?
That's what I just heard.
And then the last one I want to focus on for this series is Jeffrey Williams, number or JW 240EE, Aaron, that states exhibit number 378YE. It's the June 10th, 2015 meeting, interrogation with the police. And now it's a little early. It's 10:01:46 a.m. to 10:01:59 a.m. And you said something to the effect of, I hate jail, man. And I'm just saying darn, but it says another word. I let an N get me sent away for man, them N's trying to kill me and my child brought, I ain't. And then he talking about killing me, bro. Listen, I'm a tell you anything. Okay, if you can just listen to this for us.
You know what they did to me?
Tell us. Tell us.
After January 10th, people started shooting at me and my family. February, I went to jail for trying to protect me and my baby and my girl at the time. They put me in Rice Street on some stuff called medical flow. It's somewhere hid in the jail. It stank. It's crazy people that talking, yelling through the door, putting feces all on the window and on the wall. They locked me in the room. It's one door right here, it's one door right here, and it's another door back here, and it's another door back here. I'm behind this door. I don't see nobody, I don't talk to nobody, I'm by myself. I'm at the verge of losing my mind. People trying to shoot at me right now. They got me locked in this room. I can't talk to nobody. I can't see nobody. I'm locked in this room. They held me in that room for 3 weeks. I got out of jail. I had a court date for another county where I never even been to for some charges I never even did. I don't steal out the stove. I went down to that courthouse and tried to get it situated. Went in the wrong courtroom, told the deputy, hey, my name is such, such, such. I missed court. I'm here to fix it. He said, oh, I gave him a name, told him what happened. He said, oh, you got a warrant. And he locked me up. They put me right back in jail. I stayed in jail a whole month. I had to use the money for selling my four-wheeler to pay an attorney to come represent me. I got the lawyer to come represent me. That lawyer, he got me a bond. A friend of mine gave my baby mama the money to pay my bond. She paid my bond. I got out of jail. The very next day, Atlanta police came into the gym with a whole lot of them. They got me, said that this my bag, this my gun. They took me from my neighborhood to Turnfield. They questioned me. I told them it wasn't my gun. They let me go. They came back and get me June 10th. They questioned me. I was at the verge of losing my mind because every time I come outside, they keep locking me up. They got me. They did it. They held me in the interrogation room for a whole day, probably. I don't know. They put me right back in Rice Street, put me right back behind all these doors. They constantly kept doing it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, at this point, like, man, I'm tired of keep reliving this stuff. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm sitting right here. I got cramps, man. I got knots in my stomach, man. I haven't ate nothing. I tried to eat yesterday. I haven't ate today. Y'all sitting up here, I asked for a break. I asked, I'm in pain right now. I understand it might be my fault. I'm telling y'all, I made it up. I lied. Damn, man, this is crazy. I'm telling y'all, my stomach hurting, man.
Well, with the honorable court's order, we're going to be leaving in a little bit of time. Can you try to just listen to the JW 240EE that I just said? If you need it, could you put in your earphone if you don't mind?
I can hear it.
I hate jail. I hate jail. I be damn, I didn't think you shit, but man, they try to kill me and my child, bro. And they didn't even try to kill me, bro. They just don't, man, but you.
Mr. Copeland, with your background, and your experiences in jail, is it fair to say that you would do anything not to go to jail? Mr. Copeland, can I ask you a couple of questions?
I'm listening.
For people who've never been to prison or jail, do you know the difference, by the way?
Y'all know the difference.
Objection, relevance.
Sustained.
Whether it's a prison or jail, is it fair to say that
Rice Street is not either one. There's not prison or jail. I don't know what that place is. This is the worst place in the world.
do you remember being in custody after Friday, June 7th, 2024, after the first time you testified before the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and before you came back in the late morning of Monday, June 10th, 2024? Do you remember where you were held?
You told me you locked me up here?
Yes, sir.
What about it?
Do you remember where were you held in the Fulton County Jail, another jail? Do you remember?
So when they took me out of here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Where were you held?
They took me to Rice Street, and then the next day came, they took me from Rice Street to DeKalb County Jail. And they damn near just as worse as Rice Street.
In DeKalb County Jail, describe to the ladies and gentlemen jury what it was like when you were in that jail.
Objection, relevant, Your Honor.
Goes to his motivation for testifying here.
I don't know that we need to get that far afield. He's already told us that Rice Street is horrible. It's the worst place in the world, and DeKalb is even worse. So let's move on.
Mr. Copeland, after giving law enforcement officers this information that the prosecution has played for you, January 11th, 2015, recorded interview, January 28th, 2015, recorded interview, February 20th, 2015, recorded interview, February 21st, 2015, recorded interview, June 10th, 2015, 9-hour recorded interview. You got charged with murder, right? For Donovan Thomas.
Can you say it again?
Yes.
I heard the interview. You said I got charged with murder.
Do you remember being served marking Jeffrey Williams number 245?
You may.
I'm going to show you this, Mr. Copeland. If you need any assistance, let me know. Do you remember Detective Thorpe swearing out a warrant for you for the offense of murder for you knowingly and intentionally with malice aforethought on January 10, 2015 at 330 McDaniel Street, Atlanta, Fulton County, state of Georgia, did participate in a
Sexual
drive-by
murder.
shooting.
Hang on just a second, yes?
Reading something that's not into evidence in relevance.
Okay, well, overruled on relevance. What was the first thing?
That he's reading something that's not in,
All right, so have him, are you asking him whether he recognizes it?
Sure,
Just
did he
ask
get
him,
charged?
do you recognize it? That's
Okay.
the way to do that.
Okay, look at Jeffrey Williams, number 245. It's several pages, but this is the first page at first. Do you recognize that as the warrant taken for your arrest for murder of Donovan Thomas by Detective Thorpe? On October 20th, 2015. Yes,
Wait,
do you recognize that?
it's a warrant paper.
For you? True,
I see my name on it.
okay. And that's Detective Thorpe? Swore it out, right? Do you see that?
You gotta show me.
May I approach your honor?
You may.
May I approach you, Mr. Cullen? See that?
Yeah.
You see the date on there, Mr. Copeland? October 20th, 2015?
You said who?
October 20th, it says 10/20/15, 2015. Do you,
No, I don't see it.
may I approach your honor?
You may. Are you gonna ask him whether it was served on him? Because he didn't really answer whether you recognize.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And at that time, you were in federal custody at the Robert A. Dayton Detention Center. When I say that time, October 20th of 2015, you were awaiting the federal charges that eventually you were sentenced to 51 months in custody, right?
No, I was sentenced to 5 years.
Okay, apologize, 60 months in custody. Apologize. While you were held at the Robert A. Dayton Detention Center in Clayton County, do you remember that?
Lovejoy.
Yes, Lovejoy. Do you remember being served by a United States Marshal these warrants while in Lovejoy?
No, my attorney told me.
Okay. And you were charged with what crimes?
He just said murder.
For Donovan Thomas, right?
That's what he said.
Okay. So after Detective Thorpe, you knew that he worked with Detective Gaither, right?
What you mean?
They were co-workers, they were working, they interviewed you together. Interrogated. You knew that he worked with Detective Dennis, right?
Right?
You knew he worked with federal ATF agent Cunningham, right?
Right?
And he took out a warrant for you for murder of Donovan
Right.
Thomas just 4 months after you gave the last interrogation that we had, June 10th, 2015, right?
Right?
Mr. Copeland, eventually, you went to federal custody and you entered a guilty plea for a 922G count, which, forget it, for possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Is that true?
Right?
You remember going before the Honorable Judge Totenberg,
Right?
and she gave you the maximum sentence for that, 60
Right.
months. And you served 51 out of the 60 months. Is that fair to say?
Right?
I want to show you some of your prior convictions and tell me if you recognize them, okay? I'll be right back. You're on there for a second.
You may.
While they're looking for that, Mr. Copeland, Jeffrey Williams wasn't charged with murder of Donovan Thomas, right?
I don't know. Not to my knowledge.
Even in this indictment, Jeffrey Williams not charged with murder of Donovan Thomas. Do you realize that? And if you don't know, just say,
Objection, Your Honor. Improper speculation.
it's the indictment on trial.
Well, it really doesn't matter whether he knows it or not. Ask your next question.
I'm just waiting on the certified copies. Mr. Copeland, I'm just gonna ask you some questions while the prosecutor is looking at this, okay? While in jail, in the Fulton County Jail, as well as were you held in the Fayette County Jail? Do you ever remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just to be fair, so that's okay. What else? And you are aware that jail calls are recorded. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Now, is it true that at times people in jail, I'm not saying you, but people in jail have contraband cellular phones, like cell phones like you would use today? They have them in the jail. The person who's in custody.
You said do people in jail have phones?
Or in prison, yeah, or both.
Mm.
And if you don't know, just
Yeah, people in jail. Yeah, I guess.
okay. I'm going to show you what I've marked. Starting at 252J as in Jake. May I approach you on?
You may.
Mr. Copeland? May I approach you?
Mm-hmm.
This is, I'm just going to show you what I've marked as Mr. Williams 252J, okay? If you could just take a look at this for me. Do you see what it says here? United States District Court, Northern District of Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta Division, United States versus you. United States of America versus you, Mr. Copeland. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And do you see your lawyer's name, Mr. Rett?
Mm-hmm.
And that's Durrett. And do you see the Honorable Judge Totenberg's signature on there?
Mm-hmm.
And that was your judge, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And you see the date, October 24th, 2018?
Yes.
And it has an amendment to the judgment, same case number, your name, right?
Yes.
And it just has October 22, the same date, but the judge signed October 31 and just amended your sentence. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
And this is certified. Certified means the clerk, you feel that, if you want to feel it, feel that seal.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And this shows that you pled guilty to the offense of possession of firearm under 18 United States Code 922G1. You see that?
Yes.
And your sentence is going to be on page 2, 60 months. Is that fair to say?
And 3 years supervised release. It's not on there. Is it?
It'll be on here, yes, sir. And I will show it to you. And supervised release is like what?
Probation?
It's right here on page 4. See that 3-year supervised release?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of its certified document 252J. It's a conviction of Mr. Copeland from the Northern District of Georgia. The offense date is April 28, 2015. Your Honor, the judgment date is October 24, 2018, but then it was amended. It was a correction. It's October 31, 2018.
That's a minute.
I'm just gonna move this to court. Mr. Copeland, I'm showing you what's been marked as Mr. Williams number 252I as an ice cream, okay? And again, do you feel that seal on it for a certified copy? Do you feel that?
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And this is in the Superior Court of Fulton County, and that's state of Georgia versus you. You see your name?
yes,
And that's indictment number, it actually says criminal action number 20 SC 176912. You see that?
yes,
And do you see where it says that you entered a guilty plea under Alfred? Do you know what Alfred is? Remember?
no,
Okay. And it says 5 years to serve 3 years, balance of 2 years probated. Do you see that?
yes, I see it.
On possession of a controlled substance, schedule 1 or 2 with intent to distribute. Is that fair? That's what it says.
This what it say.
And I'm going to turn to, you were sentenced by the Honorable Judge Ingram in this courthouse. Do you remember that by any chance?
Yes,
And I'm going here to your indictment. And Judge Ingram's name used to be Judge Millender. Did you know that? And if you didn't, that's fine.
yes, I know it.
And this indictment was returned by the grand jury on November 20th, 2020 for the offenses of participation in criminal street gang activity that you did not plead guilty to that. You pled guilty to possession of a controlled substance, schedule 1 or 2 with intent to distribute, count 2. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
Okay, and did you see your signature under where it says Kenneth Copeland weighs a copy of the indictment, lists of witnesses, formal arraignment, pleads guilty to count 2? You see your signature there?
yes,
And then the Honorable Jonathan Melnick,
yes,
that's your lawyer, right? Former lawyer. And you pled guilty on January 25, 2022. Fair to say?
yes,
Your Honor, this is a certified copy, and I would move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 252I.
Admitted.
Mr. Copeland, if you don't mind, if you can feel the seal, that shows certification. Again, Fulton County Superior Court, State of Georgia versus Mr. Kenneth Copeland. That indictment number, I'm just looking at it and reading it, 22 SC 182134. Do you see that?
yes,
And this charges you, and you pled guilty under Alfred again to possession of firearm by a convicted felon. Do you see that?
yes,
You were sentenced to 5 years to serve 10 months in prison, balance of 4 years, 2 months to be served on probation. You remember that?
yes,
And this is, again, you're represented by the Honorable Jonathan Melnick. You see that?
yes,
And I'm going to the indictment in the same indictment number that we just said. And do you see your signature here?
yes,
When it says you plead guilty, and it is only to the count 3. You got that?
yes,
Is that all true, what I said? Possession found by a convicted felon. See that?
yes,
And the grand jury, and you pled guilty to possession of firearm by a convicted felon in the county of Fulton, state of Georgia on the 27th day of October, 2021. Did knowingly and without a lawful authority possess a certain firearm, a Glock handgun, accused having been convicted of felony in 10 SC 96938 Superior Court of Fulton County, offensive aggravated. Sorry. Yes, ma'am. Having been convicted of felony on indictment number 10 SC 96938 in the Superior Court of Fulton County, Georgia, for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on March 7, 2011. Is that true?
what's true?
That's what it says.
Yes,
Okay. And that's the count that you pled guilty to. True?
yes,
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams number 252M as in mentioned.
Admitted.
And Mr. Copeland, that date, October 27, 2021, you saw a clip, I believe, of investigator, detective Viverito and you in a room,
Yes,
and that was the same day, October 27, 2021. Is that fair to say?
yes,
Mr. Copeland, I'm showing you Mr. Williams, number 252G as in Goldfeder. And this again in Fulton County, State of Georgia versus you, Mr. Copeland. This indictment number is 20 SC 17 68 51. You see that?
yes,
And this has you pleading guilty under Alford to count 2, possession of a vehicle with an altered VIN number. You know what a VIN number is?
Huh?
Do you know what a VIN number is?
no,
Vehicle identification number?
yes,
Okay. And it says 15 years to serve 3 years in prison, balance of 12 years on probation. You see that?
yes,
And this date is also before Judge Ingram on the 25th day of January 2022. Is that fair to say?
yes,
And here's the indictment. Same number that I announced before, State of Georgia versus you. And charging you to count 2 with possession of a vehicle with an altered VIN number. And you pled guilty to that count and count 3.
yes,
Willful obstruction of law enforcement. See that?
yes.
And that's your signature or the judge,
Maybe try turning that backup mic off. I don't know if that'll make any difference or not. Okay, I don't know why that's started happening. Go ahead.
and you pled guilty to Jonathan Melnick's rule, 25th day of January 2022. Fair to say?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move for the admission of Mr. Williams, a certified copy, Your Honor, 252G is.
A minute.
I'm showing you with the mark is 25, Mr. Williams, 252 Evans and Fox, okay? Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Kevin Copeland, and indictment number is 12 SC 11 33 15. See that? Yes. And this has you pleading guilty to certain counts, including terroristic threats, count 1, terroristic threats, count 2, terroristic threats, count 3, and 3 counts of aggravated assault with deadly weapon. You see that? Yes. And you were sentenced to serve a total of 10 years to serve 2 years in prison, balance on probation. Is that fair to say? Yes. And this again, you feel like certification? Yes. And this was before the Honorable Todd Markle, who's under the police executive. Yes. And this was the 12th day of August 2013. And that's your indictment, correct? Yes. And that's your signature? Yes. And that's what you pled guilty to, those crimes that I announced. Fair to say? Yes. Your Honor, move for the admission of Mr. Williams 252 Catholic.
A minute.
Mr. Copeland, I'm showing you what's certified, and if you don't mind this feeling, it's seal. Yes. Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Copeland, criminal action number 12 SC 11 0195. And this charges and you pled guilty to 3 counts of entering automobile. And then I'm skipping 2 misdemeanors. I pled guilty to, I'm skipping them. And then actually that's all those 2 announced, please. Yeah, 3 counts of entering automobile. True? Yes. And you were sentenced to 5 years to 2 years in prison and the balance of 3 years on probation. Fair to say? Yes, I would say. And this was August 12, 2013. Correct? It's also before Judge Markle. It's not with Judge Markle. And here's the indictment charging you with your signature. Here's, correct? Here's, Your Honor, I move the admission of 2 years. showing you. From the Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Oakland, document 15 SC 136794. You have a certification on it? This is Jeffrey Williams, 252D as in David, okay? All right. And this has you pleaded guilty, since the 5 years of served in prison, community time served with that person who's stolen property. You see that? Yes. This was also reported out with Judge Marco on the 13th of December 2018. See that? Yes. This is your indictment. That's your signature. Yes. This is the admission of Mr. Wade 252D.
Admitted.
So I'm showing you Mr. Williams number 252C is in collect. And it's in the Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Copeland. And you're going to the guilty plea, count 1, which is aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. This is indictment number 10 SC 96E90. Is that all look accurate? Yes. And you were sentenced to 10 years in confinement, but on the service of 1 year, 9 years will be served on probation. So that is. And tell me if this is the signature. And here you were represented by Suzanne Ahmed, EOM. See that? Is. Here's your indictment. That's your guilty plea for Alfred versus North Carolina. See the signature? Is. You entered that plea on the 7th day of March 2011. Fairly said? Yes. Your Honor, I move for the admission to certified copy of Mr. Williams 252C as a
Admitted.
And Mr. Copeland, this is Mr. Williams number 252B as in Barrett. This again is in Superior Court of Fulton County, State of Georgia versus Mr. Copeland. And this is a non-negotiable plea of guilty from Alfred versus North Carolina. And pleading guilty, 5 years to serve in prison, on probation. Is that what it says? Yes. And can you make sure that that's a certified copy? Yes. And Richard was guilty to your lawyer, Jessica Stern, ST lawyer, answers to that. Yes. This was August 31, 2009, correct? Yes. And you pled guilty under Alfred versus North Carolina to count that by taking in part. See that, count 1? Yes. And that's your signature, because I have to know. Yes. You did that on August 31, 2009. Yes. Your Honor, move for the admission of Mr. Williams 252B.
Admitted.
Mr. Copeland. When you were able to be around Jeffrey for that short period of time that you said, that benefited you because it made you more known. Is that, am I saying that right? Is that true?
Objection on vague as to what period of time.
Can you rephrase your question, please?
Sure. You testified already that you were with Jeffrey for a short period of time from the end of 2014 to 2015, and you were arrested and didn't get out of custody on June 10th, 2015. So somewhere in that period. Is that fair to say? Okay. You were around Jeffrey Williams at times at the end of 2014, year 2014, and then sporadically, because you kept getting arrested, but no more after June 10th, 2015, because then you're arrested and then sent to federal prison for 51 months. True?
No.
Okay, explain.
I was on around him from 14, and then we started hanging at 15.
Say it again, I couldn't hear you.
I wasn't hanging around him in 2015,
Okay,
only the end of 2014.
okay. And that was beneficial to you because it boosted your notoriety, meaning people took more note of you because you were around people like Jeffrey Williams and the people that he knew. Is that true?
It really was based off the experience.
Explain that to the jury.
What you mean?
Explain what you mean by it was based off the experience.
It wasn't about attention. It was just about flying on planes, going different, like just seeing more than just hanging in the neighborhood.
Before Jeffrey Williams allowed you, took you, asked you, or Tick or Mr. Trentavia Stephen, whoever, how far outside of the Atlanta area had you ever been?
Only once I've been to no, I'm lying. Twice I've been out of town, but it was just I went with when I got out of jail in 2013. My baby mama, she was going to college in South Carolina, so I traveled down there with her. And then when my friend got killed, I stopped. But before that, I had went with some old friends. He took me deep sea fishing, but that was it. But
Had you, in those experiences, had you ever been on an airplane?
no,
Or did you drive?
yeah, we drove.
Okay.
Mr. Steele, is this a good time to stop?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and break for the day. I will see y'all back here at 9 in the morning. Just a reminder, wear your juror badges. Don't talk about the case with anybody. Let anybody talk about it with you, including amongst yourselves. Don't use the internet or any other kind of source to try to find out information about the case, anybody involved in it. Don't watch, read, listen to, in any way absorb any kind of media accounts about this case, including social media. And hope y'all have a pleasant evening.